Hey everyone, welcome back to Immediate Immersion. I'm Scott and this is my trusty sidekick Fizz. Hey everyone, ready to make language learning fun and exciting? Absolutely Fizz. Today we're diving into top CI strategies for teachers. If you're looking to transform your classroom and keep your students engaged, you're in the right place. Oh, I can't wait. What exactly are we going to share with our awesome viewers today? Great question, Fizz. We'll be exploring some of the best comprehensible input activities that will have your students participating, learning, and having a blast. Yeah, and the best part is, these strategies are super easy to implement. You can start using them right away. Exactly. From immersive language days to interactive storytelling, we've got a ton of exciting ideas lined up for you. Ooh, can we start with my favorite one, the immersion challenges? Absolutely, Fizz. But first, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our awesome tips and tricks. And don't forget to ring the bell. Ding, ding. All right, let's get started with our first strategy. Ready, Fizz? Ready, Scott? Let's do this. Strategy number 1, creating a language-rich environment. First, label the objects around the classroom in the target language to immerse students in the vocabulary so they can begin to associate the different objects and different things in the classroom with the target language words as they go along. Next, decorate the classroom according to thematic units to provide contextual learning. If you're teaching all about food, add some posters of food up there with the labels. Or if you're teaching about school supplies, do the same with that. That'll help the kids get immersed in the theme as they're learning it. And my personal favorite are word walls. I like to maintain a word wall where new vocabulary is displayed prominently for easy reference. I keep my word wall up all year long. And so I usually have key transition words in there that will help my kids do better to remember these words as they go along. Our second strategy is language immersion days. So start with a challenge. Challenge students to speak only the target language for a specified period of time. Start small, maybe with 3 or 5 minutes, and slowly work up to 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes. This will get the kids accustomed to using the target language as much as possible. Then you can graduate to full immersion days. Designate days where the goal is only to speak the target language for the entire class period, creating a fully immersive environment. This allows kids to actually try to use the language, use circumlocution to talk around things they don't know how to say, and really immerse themselves in the language, in the environment. And lastly, cultural immersion activities. So here you can include music, food tasting, and traditional games from the target culture to create a holistic learning experience. It's not always just about the language, but the culture comes along with it as well. Next up is strategy number 3, language stations. Themed language stations are a great way to set up different stations around the classroom, each with a specific activity like storytelling, vocabulary games, listening comprehension exercises, etc. You get the idea. Students will rotate through the varied stations, engaging with varied input. This allows them to get lots of variety of practice with different aspects of the language quickly and efficiently. Next up, interactive challenges. Each station can present a challenge or a puzzle that students must solve using the target language. A lot of kids really enjoy this, and it can be a vocabulary-based or grammar-based or textual-based type of a puzzle, and kids can have fun trying to solve those, all while staying in the target language. And lastly, peer teaching. Have students take turns leading activities at each station, reinforcing their understanding by teaching others. Every kid has an aspect of the language that they're really good at. And pair those students up with kids who need help in those areas, and that's a win-win for everybody. Strategy number 4, incorporating TPR. So integrate physical movements with language commands to help reinforce vocabulary. We've talked about this before, but there are 4 steps to TPR. The first is associating the word with the action, where the teacher says the word, demonstrates the action, and the kids repeat the action. Next, the teacher will say the word, but delay the actual action, seeing if kids are able to do it without the help, and then follow up with the actual action. Third phase, teacher says the word and does not do the action at all, but is looking out to see that kids are still doing the actions. And then the fourth, then you can associate these with novel commands. Tell kids to do things using the vocabulary, make it fun, make it interesting, and make it fast-paced. Kids love it. Role playing is another great idea. So set up scenarios where students act out daily routines or common interactions. So mixing here with the vocabulary and the physicality of it helps get it from the top of the brain inside the brain. And lastly, interactive games. Play games like Simon Says or charades or Pictionary to make learning dynamic and fun. Again, you're getting the kids up and moving using kinesthetic a modality, and kids really engage with this. They love to play the games and they learn while they're having fun. Hey teachers, Scott here, and I'm with my awesome sidekick Fizz. Hey everyone, are you ready to make this school year the best one yet? We've got something super exciting for you, our back to school boot camp. That's right, it's a 10-part mini course designed to get you ready for back to school using comprehensible input. And the best part, it takes all the stress out of starting the new year. In this boot camp, we'll cover everything you need to know to hit the ground running with engaging and effective CI strategies. No more last-minute planning or worrying about how to keep your students interested. We've got you covered. So join us at mm.us/bootcamp and let's make this school year amazing together. Sign up now and get ready to transform your classroom. We can't wait to see you there. Let's make this the best year ever. So here's strategy number 5, utilizing storytelling. So narrative-based learning. Craft engaging stories that incorporate target vocabulary and grammar structures. These can be pre-written stories, but better yet, are stories that you co-collaborate with your students by asking leading questions. We call this story asking because we're asking leading questions to guide our kids into creating an original story for each particular class, utilizing the vocabulary and grammar that you're working on. This allows for students to get a lot of participation and encourage the students to contribute to the storyline, making it a collaborative effort. And that way they buy into the story because it's partly their own. You can also use visual aids, use props, images, and gestures to enhance comprehension and retention. But beware, too many props can ruin it. So just have a few key props that you're going to use to engage the students with that visual aspect to help them understand the story as you go along. Strategy number 6, implementing picture talk and movie talk. Picture talk is when you use images to prompt discussion and description, focusing on new vocabulary and structures. There are 3 kinds of pictures that I like to find for my students that work really, really well. Funny baby pictures, funny animal pictures, and awkward family photos. I learned that last one from Yannick, my friend from Belgium. It's an awesome idea and you can find some really great things. You'll start with talking about the pictures, describing them, and then find a way to turn that picture into a story for maximum success. Next up is movie talk. Here you're going to show short clips of movies or TV shows, or my personal favorite, using animated shorts from YouTube because they have some funny endings. You want to pause frequently to discuss what's happening and predict what might happen next with the story. It's a great way to get your feet wet with story asking. Questioning techniques are really important in all of these aspects. You're going to ask a variety of questions about the images or clips to engage students at different proficiency levels. I call this scaffolded differentiated questioning. It starts off with your yes, no, either or, continues with your who, what, where, when, and then followed up with your how and your why questions. The key is to ask the right student the right question at the right time. So your struggling students, you're going to focus on your yes and no and either or. Your mid-level students, your who, what, where, when, and then your top-end students, your how and your why questions. You always want to set the students up for success, so never ask them a question that you're not confident that they can answer. And our last strategy for today is number 7, interactive reading sessions. So read alouds are a great way to read with your students. So here you're going to read stories aloud with exaggerated intonation and expression to keep students engaged. I call this kindergarten day, which I got the idea from Susie Gross. It's a really fun activity, and think about how kindergarten teachers do it with their students. The kids sit on the floor around the teacher, and the teacher has a really big book that they read and show the pictures to. If your book isn't that big or you have a large class, you can also use a document projector to project the image onto the screen so they can see the book as you read it. I love doing this, and I can easily stretch one of these books into 2 or 3 day lesson. Choral reading is another great strategy. Have students read together as a class to build confidence and fluency. So as you point to the words, they read them out loud. It helps them to understand what they're reading, pair the sounds with the letters, and get them pre-thinking about it before you discuss the actual text. And then post-reading activities. So you want to conduct follow-up activities like summarizing the story, answering comprehension questions, or drawing scenes from the story to help engage kids further in with the text, especially with summarizing the story. Many of our kids, even in English, can't summarize anything, so teach them how to do this very important skill. Wow, what a fun session that was! Thanks for sticking with us as we explore these amazing CI strategies. We hope you found some great ideas to bring into your classroom. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Ding, ding! Also, be sure to check out that one of the 2 videos YouTube has picked out for you. They're packed with more tips and tricks to keep your classes engaging and effective. Yeah, just click on one of those videos and keep the learning going. Thanks again for watching. We love having you part of our community. Until next time, happy comprehensible input!